WRN News.
A warm welcome to all of my family. You are now tuned into W.I.I.F.M. What's in it for me? The station that shows you how to be the best you that you can be simultaneously through being better to everyone else. Him, he is. That's right, I am Simeon Robinson, and I'll be your conductor on this crazy train as we learn life lessons through love.
Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you are having a great day. I hope you're having a great week. This is going to be the season finale, and this is going to be part 2 to It Is Not Okay for Men to Cry. Don't assume the message from the title. I need you to bear with me today. This message is for any and every man. And if you're a male, man applies to you regardless of age, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of belief, regardless of anything. If you are a male, you are a man. So, this message also applies to every woman that has a man in her life, whether father, brother, son, boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever the case is. This is going to finish the teaching to give male and female the tools that they will need to have better communication to their loved ones and for their loved ones to have better understanding of what men go through. So I'm not going to waste your time. I only got 24 minutes. Let's get right into it. Speaking of not wasting your time, please watch part 1 because it's not okay for men to cry yet. It's not okay for men to cry is a lie. If you want to know why, watch part 1. I go into all of the definitions of why men have been taught and trained that it's not okay for them to cry. I even give you the denotations of the words train, teach, okay, cry, all of that. So watch that one. But in this episode, I want to start with the recap for last episode. We went through even if it's not okay now, it will be. We went through the steps of standardization. We went through why we need to have grace for those that were not present when we needed them to be present. We went through men not being taught is not an excuse for them not learning. We went through when we win, the team did good, but when we lose, I did bad. So make sure you watch that last episode. But let's jump right into this one. Many men need to open up. And a lot of men fear opening up because they fear or they feel that if you have this information can be used against me to hurt me or to harm me. I want to ease your mind right now. Knowing does not give them the power to help you. So don't let it give them the power to hurt you. Knowing your problems does not give someone else the power to help you. So do not let it give them the power to hurt you. And the reason I say that is because telling someone your problems doesn't give them the power to help solve your problems. So why give it the power to help hurt you or make your problems worse? Because you still have to allow them to help. You still have all the power. So whether they're hurting you or whether they're helping you, it's all in you. It's all in you. So if you still have to allow them to help you, you have to have some accountability and understand that you have to allow them to hurt you. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. People can put on this false bravado like they don't care or it doesn't get to them. It does. You might be able to wash it off. You might be able to dust it off. You might be able to get the dirt off your shoulders a lot quicker. But for those that can't, understand that the power is still yours. So don't be afraid to open up to someone who's telling you they love you. Because whether they show themselves to actually love you and show themselves to be in there with you to help you get through the problem, because you will still have to get through it. But knowing that you have someone by your side or behind you pushing you to help you get through it makes that push a lot easier. So in our minds, the risk outweighs the rest, because for most men or for a lot of men, there's no clear reward. So I'll say that again, when it comes to communicating and letting people know how us as men feel, the risk outweighs the rest, because telling you how we feel is only going to give us rest, because there is no reward. There is no clear reward in the history of mankind, no pun intended, in explaining how we feel. There is no clear reward in explaining how, even if you are our significant other, what you did and how it affected us. Because many people, male or female, lack accountability, so they'll just reverse it and put it back on you, or project it and make it even worse. So now that I just told you what was wrong with me and you made it about you, you've taught me, you've trained me not to want to bring anything up to you again. And many women don't understand how they've trained their boyfriends and their husbands to do this. A lot of women think, oh, men don't talk. But the time that he did, you shut him off. And you have never taken accountability for you shutting him off. That man was about to start a monologue, but you shut him up to give him a cliche, when all he needed for you or from you was to listen. Think about that. So if it doesn't give them the power to help you, don't let it give them the power to hurt you. Because as men, we must learn to balance. We must learn to balance who you want to be with who you need to be. As men, we must learn. As men, we must learn who we want to be and who we need to be. There has to be a balance. We've always heard about protection, provision, and pleasure, but we don't talk about purpose. When a woman asks a man that she's dating, or whatever the case might be, what he has to bring to the table, I hate that cliche or that even understanding, but when she asks him, that is 9 times out of 10 going to be the first things or one of the main things out of his mouth, because that is what women have been taught to understand they need. So if you have been taught as a woman to understand that you need that from a man, I need you to understand, when you flip that coin, that most men have been taught they need to provide that. What most men have not been taught is that they need to not just provide, but search for their own purpose. We hear about the protection. We hear about the provision. We hear about the pleasure for everyone else that we love, that we care about, for our wives, for our girlfriends, for our kids, for our friends. We rarely hear about the purpose that makes us happy, the purpose that makes us fulfilled, the purpose that gives us that dopamine, the purpose that makes us feel joy, and not just happiness, not just a temporary state of being, but a state of mind that reminds us, I am doing good. I am progressing. It might be hard, but I am moving forward. That's why all men need a purpose. Your purpose might be your career. Your purpose might be a goal. Your purpose might be a dream. Your purpose might be philanthropy and just helping people. Your purpose might be a business. Your purpose might be community efforts. Your purpose might just be a good family man, whether you have a family or not. Because when you are a good family man, you can be the community father or the community uncle. It happens to great women. They always become the matriarch of the community. She becomes everybody's mom or grandma. So you have to understand that when you find your purpose for you, it allows you to do all of the other things for everyone else. When you find your purpose, you can protect better. When you find your purpose, you can have more to provide. When you find your purpose, you will please yourself. Therefore, you can give pleasure to everyone else. So if you're lacking in the other P's, you probably haven't found your purpose. If you're lacking in protection, provision, or pleasure when it comes to your girlfriend, wife, or the people that you love, you probably are lacking in your purpose. So I need you to focus on you, brother. I need you to focus on you right now. Don't wait till next week. If you need to cut everybody off, cut them off. If you need to get off social media, get off social media. If you need to stop the addiction that you have, whether it's whatever it might be. And I know when I said that word, what a lot of you jump to, turn the phone off. Whatever you need to stop, start now. And it's okay if you have to restart later. It's okay if you fall. It's okay if you trip. It's okay if you stumble. The first thing that we all do when we fall is get up and look who's watching. Stop worrying about everybody else, because I promise you nobody else is watching. God is funny, because last week I started part 1, and a couple of days later I was in the gym and I started going live on my TikTok, and I was listening to gospel, and something about the name Jesus by the Rance Allen Group came on. I started crying. I dropped the weight and I was crying. And when I tell you, after the first cry, the first thing in my mind was, bro, you can't be crying on live. Probably 30, 40 people were watching. And my spirit said, this is real, and you can't shut off what's real, because you need to let this out, but you never know who needs to see this. That's not the point. The point is, while I was crying at an open bench in the middle of a packed gym for 10 minutes, not one person said anything. Not one person stopped. Not one person tapped me on my shoulder. Not one person checked. I promise you, no one is looking at you. That might sound bad. It might sound bad. But when I looked at that live, because I was going to post the whole live, but sadly my mic cut off. I did post the part of me crying because I felt people needed to see it. Lo and behold, another 50,000 views. So when I tell you thousands of people have seen me cry in the span of a week, and I didn't know it was going to blow up. But the point that I'm making is we focus too much on who's watching our path and who's watching our journey, that now we make it more liable to trip up again. I'm from Chicago, so there's always snow, there's always slush. And that's the first thing people do when they fall, when they slip, or even when they start to stumble. When you hit the little stutter step and you try to stop yourself from falling, the first thing you do is look around. Keep your eyes forward and keep your mind inward. Focus on the things that you need to focus on, because the people that are watching you don't care to see you stand up again. The people that are watching you don't care to ask if you're okay. They're too busy laughing. Let them laugh, because you still have to get to your destination. Is someone watching you going to stop you from walking? Is someone laughing at you going to stop you from walking? So if they don't have the power to help you, don't give them the power to hurt you. And the reason I say that is that the reason I say that men must learn to balance what they want to be and what they need to be is because men can usually tell you what they want to have a lot easier than they can tell you who they want to be or what they want to do. Men can usually tell you a lot easier what they want to have than what they want to be or what they want to do. They will have the material things already picked out. They can tell you about the car in depth. They can tell you about the game. They can tell you about the house. They can tell you about these things easily off the drop of a dime. But when you tell them, hey, what's something that you're working on mentally? What's something that you need to work on emotionally that you either have suppressed or you have just distanced yourself away from far enough and long enough that you don't think it's a problem, but the next time you actually find someone who loves you, it's going to be the first thing that pops up. The reason your issue hasn't popped up is because you don't have anybody that loves you, and you need to love yourself more. That's why you haven't seen your problems. That's why you have not seen your problems, because you've distanced yourself away from them for so long and so far, they don't have to bother you anymore, because you can easily remove yourself from anything that you feel is not good, except the one thing that is not good. And that's you not loving yourself enough. That's you not expressing how you feel when you need help or when you need more love or when you are lacking in something. You can't express that to a person. You can't express that to a therapist. You can't even express that oftentimes in your faith or in your religion. And it's just bottled up. And there's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to grow because you keep it bottled up. The plant can still survive in the bottle, but you have to break the glass and let it out if you want a garden. The plant can still survive, in that little pot. But when you're ready for something better, when you're ready for something bigger, when you're ready for something more reciprocal, when you're ready for something that's more constant, and you don't have to put in as much work, you're going to have to take that plant out of that pot and put it in better, bigger soil. And that's one of the problems, is because as men, when you're used to being there for everybody else, you're not used to anyone else being there for you. When you are used to being there for everyone else, you are not used to anyone else being there for you. We are either asked, expected, or sometimes even pressured to be there for everyone else. But when it's time for anyone else to be present for us, there's no gifts under the tree. That flew over some heads, so I'll say it again. We're either asked, expected, or even pressured to be there for everyone else. But when it's time for someone else to be present for us, there's no gifts under the tree. And that man has to learn to be present for himself. Why do you think men are horrible at taking gifts? We never get any. Why do you think men are horrible at just saying thank you when receiving compliments? We don't get any. I'm a fairly handsome man. I still don't get that many. I can tell you the last time I got one. That's how sad it is. I can tell you the last time I got one, what I was wearing and what she said. That's crazy. You have to understand that it's okay, because I started giving myself compliments. I started telling myself, hey, brother, you looking good. You're growing. Good job in the gym. I'm happy that you didn't quit. You didn't give up. When it gets hard, I tell myself one day it's going to be worth it. And I have to love myself and remind myself, whether verbally, whether physically, whether financially, whether materialistically, whatever the case is. This past week, I got my hair cut. I got my face clean. I got a manicure for the first time in like 2 years. Clear matte, fellas. I didn't understand that before, but I made a mistake. Okay, you'll understand when you do when you get your manicure. Clear matte. Never make that mistake again. My nails been shiny all week. But I did something to make myself feel good. Did it work? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I still felt bad. But guess what? I tried. And I understand that it's not going to work every time. That means I need to find something that's better, that's more consistent, that I can do more frequently, whatever the case might be for me and whatever the case might be for you. It's okay if it doesn't work now. It has worked. It might work again in the future. You can't overanalyze or overestimate when things don't work for you, because as long as you work, that's all that matters. As long as you still working, that's all that matters. A piece might break, but guess what? You can still move, and you can keep moving till it's time to get that repair. But you need to understand and be accountable with yourself that it is some repair that needs to be happening. There is some repair that needs to be happening. There is. And as I wrap up, I'll go through these quickly. Many men don't like asking for help because they never get the help they want or need. They get whatever people want to give them. Many men do not like asking for help because they never get the help that they need or that they want. They get the help that people want to give them. A lot of men actually know what they need. Many people only know one form of help. Jesus said, thank you for feeding me when I was hungry. Thank you for giving me drink when I was thirsty. Thank you for housing me when I was homeless. And everybody was like, Jesus, when did we do this? He said, when you do these to the least of these, you do it for me. Woe unto you who did not do these things. You see a man crying for help and you say, I'll pray for you. You see a man's hungry, I'll pray for you. You see he's thirsty, I'll pray for you. You see he's crying, I'll pray for you. I am not saying that prayer is not needed. But before you go ask Jesus to help him, you go help him. Because sometimes that's all a man needs. And I will tell you this with every fiber in my being. Cliches are not care, and prayers are not participation. Cliches are not care, and prayers are not participation. You will go and pray that Jesus helps this man when you're right there on earth, right there sitting next to him, and you can't. That man might be drowning. You're going to pray for him. No, throw me the life raft. That man might be starving and you're going to pray for him. No, get him some groceries. And these are obviously extreme examples. But sometimes that man might just need you to listen. But you can't listen because you're going to stop him midway through, subconsciously, unknowingly, and tell him another cliche, tell him another Bible verse, tell him anything instead of just letting him finish, letting him get it out. And that's why a lot of men don't talk, because we've learned to shut up to allow everybody else to talk and tell us their problems. And the second that we actually call them again and say, hey, I need to talk, that talk is nowhere near as long. It's nowhere near as long. It's nowhere near as uninterrupted, and it's nowhere as near as quiet, because there's always some interference, there's always some opinion, and there's always some cliche. So now when that man has anything to say, he's not going to say it to you or anyone else, because you have trained him that no one really cares enough to listen. So cliches are not care, and prayers are not participation. When you have the power, Jesus has already given you the power to help him. You're going to put it back on God. And then we're wondering why nothing in the world is getting done, because we're praying, and we could be participating. We're praying, and we can be participating. All we need to do to cast these demons out is pray and fast. But we keep looking for Jesus when he's already given us the power. So it's okay, brothers. It's okay, but you have to understand that even if you don't feel okay now, it will be. And I'll leave with this. Leaders lead because they need to go first. Leaders lead because they need to go first. Real men are leaders. Leaders don't lead because of strength, intelligence, talents, or habits. Not because of grit or their refusal to quit. Not because of their goals, dreams, or anything in between. Not because of their hunger, and not because of their thirst. Leaders lead because they need to go first. If you want people to be there for you, you must let them know who Superman really is first. Nobody's going to help Superman because Superman unknowingly is already showing his strength. He's already showing his invulnerability to everything but kryptonite. He's already showing that he's bigger, stronger, faster, that he's there when everybody else needs to be safe. Nobody checks on Clark Kent because they don't know who Clark Kent really is. It's okay to take the cape off. It is. It's okay to take the cape off and put the glasses on. I got mine on right now. I can't see, but that's a different story. Leaders lead because they need to go first. So don't question why God put you in this position, because nobody else can do what you do. So love yourself for that. And I'll end with this. Even if it's not okay now, it will be. And that is why I said it is not okay for men to cry. Because it's not yet, but it will be. God, so help me, it will be. Even if it's not okay now, it will be. Whatever you're going through right now, it will be. Whatever you had to overcome in the past, it is, but then it will be. Keep that in your mind. Keep that in your heart. Keep that in your soul. Keep that in your prayers. Do not allow what is happening now to take you off of what you have been doing. Even when God allowed Satan to test Job, that was the first question. What did you do to deserve this? Life is going to happen, but remember, even if it's not okay now, it will be. Job had everything taken away from him and got double for his trouble. Did he cry? Yeah. Did he complain? Yeah. Did he wish he was never born? Yeah. He cursed the day he was born. But he apologized for even questioning God. And he said, how can we accept the good and not accept the bad? That's why you are a man, because you can accept it and you can keep going. And I need you to remember that. I need you to remember that whatever happens is not happening to you. It's happening for you. Every villain that you're facing right now is only making you a stronger hero. But be that hero in your own story. I can't say until next time because this is the season finale. So I'll see you when I see you. I love you. Peace.
I pray that this message is delivered to you. Even if it is not downloaded immediately into your spirit, I hope that you have this in the arsenal of your heart when you need it. I will be here every Friday, noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, to continue to give you love, information, motivation, inspiration, and everything else that I can provide. So until next time, I love you. See you later.